Hi guys, looks like you've been following in the Power Rangers Super Samurai reviews very well. Well, even though, I mean, they did pause it, and someone who commented on a review of something fishy, she did make an interesting quip that he questioned my age and whether it was alright to select Power Rangers. I mean, I turned 20 in January. I can personally say with all comfortability that yes, I still like them. I got back into them about last year or so, and I'm really enjoying them. And because of the TV being off, I managed to find other ways to watch them. I've seen some of the old episodes. It's on Amazon on an instant video again. So I'm definitely going to talk about how much I enjoyed the show. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really allowed to watch it when it first started. For some reason, but for some reason I was allowed to have a Red Ranger figure. Naturally, did not stop me from going to a friend's house and watching it there. Yeah, but naturally, as I got a little bit older, things loosened up, and I got to see it. To be honest, I rather enjoy the series that had this combined the superhero elements with science fiction and very campy, with these girl in colored costumes fighting all these rubby monsters. It was an adaptation of the Super Sentai franchise, which had already been running in Japan and for about 15 years by that point. And so Saban, who had tried to do multiple adaptations of Super Sentai before finally managing to get as successful as Kyoyo Sentai Zero Ranger to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. As that turned out, as Box had no faith in it, and they wanted to just do one 40-episode season, but then it became a big hit with the ratings and toy sales. That's what I've primarily been watching on the Amazon Prime, and I've been watching the first 3 seasons of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So far, I've managed to finish the rest of season 2, where they had the white Tony become the White Ranger. Hold on, my phone's ringing. And like I was saying, finished Mighty Morphin 2 features the White Ranger because they were using Die Ranger footage for his suit and the Zord footage. I really liked how they started shooting in American fight scenes and some matching action better. It also brings about the change where Dewey Trong, Walter Jones, and Austin and St. John were replaced with Steve Cardenas, Johnny on Bosch, and Kieran Ashley. He has the red, yellow, and black Rangers. Yep. Well, that's not good. And about halfway through season 3, started primarily using Kaku Ranger footage. And that's just limited to the Zord fights since they didn't want to give up the suits yet. And also, I'm just going over the first season again, just for general principle. Think before the source as I'm looking for, getting a video that goes out, just gonna try and get through the first 32 episodes of the first season of Mighty Morphin. I also plan to finish Mighty Morphin Season 3 and Alien Rangers, then do Zeo, Turbo, and In Space. Yes. Also, I'm on about halfway through Lost Galaxy. Just started Lightspeed Rescue, which are 2 series I haven't seen as much. That's not even when ABC Family and Toon Disney rebanned them. Also I've got a plan to watch Time Force again. Time Force, that has to be my favorite non-Mighty Morphin seasons. And I really like Hank the Dirk storyline and how they will take the material seriously from the Time Ranger source. Yes. I'm also going to do a bit of Wire Force this as well. Also, I sort of like thinking if I could do some of the Calashia shows. I mean, they tend to decline progressively, in my opinion, but see, that's gonna tell you my opinion on them. I mean, SPD, I liked it a lot, even though I didn't finish it. I only watched the first few episodes. That's a Mystic Force. Wasn't as good, but I personally enjoyed it. And Operation Overdrive, if I think it was okay, I didn't hate it as much as other people did, but in Jungle Fury, that has to be to be honest, that just has to be my least favorite Power Ranger season. So, I mean, the rest of the Calashia shows, and I mean, the rest of the series in general at least had other interesting ideas and plots. That's the way it handled the Sentai material. No, I just felt Jungle Fury would be really weak in terms of that. Yeah, and 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 I personally really liked OPM. It was a show. Come on. I really, they managed to turn the happy-go-lucky Go-Onger Sentai into this gritty apocalyptic thriller, which is essentially what they tried to do with Turbo in this word. And just to be clear, I didn't hate Turbo as much as other people did. And it has obvious problems of trying to turn a goofy Sentai material into a serious story, but I actually think it's not as bad as people say, and I consider it to be enjoyable. Okay, one stupid mouse. Another thing, yes, this is off topic, but I've also been kind of having mouse problems for a while. I mean, the cursor keeps getting stuck. Look, again, like I haven't been able to get the laser to work right. And I think I might consider replacing it if my partnership takes off. It's just slowly picking up. Oh, okay. Okay. And the other hand, also, like, also kind of really got back into it with Samurai, which is his previous season they had after the Disney reissue of Mighty Morphin. I actually like how it's trying to recapture the Mighty Morphin camp value it had. Yeah, I mean that tends to be a base breaker for most people. Well, but I really enjoy it how cheesy, delightfully cheesy they made it. So it's not like how Mighty Morphin was a tone poem of early 1990s cheese. Samurai is going to be a tone poem of early 2010s cheese. Yes. Yes. So I like how they brought back Bulk and the Go-Go Power Rangers song. So, and also like, and as you can tell, I'm quite a fan of Japanese culture. I really like how Samurai is trying to embrace as much of the source material from the Sentai as it possibly can. And 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 as you can tell, Super Samurai has been pretty good so far. It's been also kind of a huge improvement. I mean, it's as you say, it's actually managed to do better than the Pokemon, and if you've been following my reviews for a while. If you're just getting into them, a lot of people are, because I noticed that sometimes the constant people don't go in any order. But I see people all the time, and I notice is that sometimes the response on get are good, sometimes it's bad. But all in all, people, even though whatever reception may be to them, these reviews seem to be getting really popular, I noticed. In that aspect. Yeah, and second to last aspect I'm going to talk about how it is as the movies that they made. And Class of Air Rangers doesn't count. I mean the actual theatrical movies they had. Okay, first one, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, released in 1995, in between the second and third seasons. Hold on. Sorry about the delay. And now, I'm going to talk to you about the Power Rangers movies, the ones that came in the theater. First we'll handle Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, which came out in 1995, about in between the second and third seasons, but the events will later be retconned or repeated in the third season, depending on how you look at it. Right? And Have they seen the Rangers facing the villain Ivan Ooze? Essentially, it's a big budget version of the show. There's no Sentai footage used, it's all original footage. And the suits look more like armor instead of having the spandex. Next they had his swords in CGI, which doesn't really look very impressive now, but came out at the time it came out 5 months before the movie Toy Story, so it did look impressive then. And I did. The action scenes were very well put together there, and I definitely consider the film to be decent. It's definitely a masterpiece, but I find it enjoyable. And then there's also Turbo Power Rangers movie, which began in the Turbo part of the show. And they also, with the Rangers getting the Turbo powers, also has Justin come in and replace Rocky, who's injured himself. Well, often can't do any Ranger duties anymore, which was similar to how Steve Cardenas has got injured at the end of Zeo and couldn't do work on the series anymore. It's a lot more like the show in terms of production value, since the Turbo Makes was a guy in the suit, the Monsters guys in suits instead of using CGI, and the suits are spandex again. I felt that this wasn't as good as the first one, but still not as bad as people imagine it. I mean, it's quite a silly concept, and I acknowledge that me being 20 and liking it is weird. But, you know, there are other people who enjoy it, and I mean, just look at Linkara. He's probably the biggest Power Rangers known on the internet. And if you look at him, yeah. And anyway, that takes care of the movies, so I'm gonna have one more. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about how I feel about the concept of a whole. I mean, this is pretty much most Americans' introduction to the genre tokusatsu, which is essentially the Japanese equivalent of superhero. As they see them. There were other parts to the franchise that they tried to spin off this, like Beetleborgs and VR Troopers, but Power Rangers is the one that lasted the longest, in most terms. Let's ignore that. And since, I mean, anyway, in a way, sort of like this whole low-budget charm, and also sort of the whole camp factor they have with it, even when it goes dark, it still manages to retain the same traits it has in the camp. Got kind of an analogy there. And I think some people even claim that it's sort of like the children's equivalent of Doctor Who, or if you want to go anyway, go a bit further, the American equivalent of Doctor Who. And her sort of production house and storytelling. Yeah. And I think it might. And regarding other formats, that's how you find it. It's on Netflix. I'm personally watching it through Amazon Prime. I have a trailer. For a free trial that I'm gonna cancel when we get our dish back on. And Shout Factory has finally worked out a contingency to get DVDs out of it. I signed up to be on their mailing list for when they finally come out, so I can get them ordered. Might see them here in a collection soon. I mean, the acting well, it's kind of in its own little world. Ranges from good to bad. Sometimes the actors go on to something big. Some of them have gotten to be producers. Johnny on Bosch. I mean, he's pretty. I think because of his involvement with Power Rangers, that's the reason why a lot of people watch Bleach or Trigon or Code Yes. Yes, I personally. Yes, it's kind of my reason. Part of my reason for watching those shows too. Mm, yep. I really, anyway, I was just, even though I just got this because of one commenter reflecting on this, I questioned this, I asked him what he wanted from me, but I decided to answer for him, and that's why I made this video. Anyway, that's about all I have to say. Leave a comment in the box below, and I'll see you later.